Tonight's A Couple of Cold Ones will be brought to you by Sissy Boy Ale. Sissy Boy Ale, the only beer guaranteed to grow hair on your nads. Live from the Spill Studios, located behind a liquor store of the I-35 interchange, it's time once again for A Couple of Cold Ones with Corey and Carlisle.
You know, I loved it when Leon came in and there was a police car going by and he was like, man, get out the ghetto. I'm like, man, I live in like in one of the nicest areas around here. I don't live in the ghetto.
Don't.
Yeah, no, man, Leon,
well,
please.
The nice areas around here.
No, man, please. Like this property value has gone up in this area. But my point is that at his place, right after he said that, he came back and he's like, man, my car got broken into.
Yeah, no.
in his home, in his driveway. I was like, which I'm sorry to hear that.
He doesn't live in the ghetto either.
Well, no, I mean, but it definitely is more ghetto than where I live, and he lives right down the street.
You think we all live more ghetto than you live, and you live behind a liquor store.
He lives behind a Sonic, Leon.
Oh, liquor store, Sonic, liquor. Yeah, you know.
And when you say liquor store, you make it sound like it's the liquor store where all the winos out in front with brown bags. No, I live there's a liquor store which is a fine liquor store next to next to the Whip In, which is like one of the premium beer shops in town. In fact,
sure, but you kind of brush past the fact that there's a liquor store there.
No, I didn't brush past the fact there's a liquor store. It's a nice liquor store, as in it is not a ghetto liquor store. It is like you go in there and it's clean and shit, and it's always a light. It's all bright lights. Ain't nobody gonna be coming in with a shotgun trying to say, "Give me all your money" and all that kind of shit. No, it's a very nice place. Top fine tequila there, I have to say.
That's right. You still live behind a liquor store.
I shop there myself, and there's a reason why I live behind a liquor store, because I'm an alcoholic. So,
and I can walk to Target.
Yeah, and I can walk through like one of the finest neighborhoods.
I was kind of kidding.
Oh,
no,
there's a Church's Fried Chicken down the street from where you are too. I'd be there every day if I live where you live.
Yeah, no, there is, but it's walking distance. It's not walking distance, but I'd do it. You know, I prefer to hop on my scooter and go get me some Church's.
Eating a piece of chicken while you scooting along.
I know what good is. Good is riding your scooter to go get Church's Fried Chicken.
I love those commercials because they got like even the white people in those commercials, which is seldom any, but even the white ones, they talk black.
Yeah,
I'm a fireman. I love eating chicken.
Yeah, I know what good is. Good is Sedity.
Chicken be good. Pete, if you don't know Church's Chicken, we've talked about it before. That's a chicken place.
Church's Chicken.
No, we love Church's.
We make fun of Church's, but man, is Church's good eating.
Church's is good. Church's has got the reputation of being the black chicken here in Texas, though.
Yeah.
I remember there was a Church's Chicken in Waco, near where I live. No white people would even go near that Church's.
The white people's place is Golden Chick.
Golden Chick?
We have Golden Chick.
Aryan chicken.
Have you ever seen Golden Chick?
Yeah, and there's a Golden Chick here in town, isn't it?
There's several.
Yeah.
It's the white person's Church's.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if slaves had Church's Fried Chicken back in the day, they could have thrown at white people and led a revolt.
I think had we had Church's Fried Chicken back in the day, I don't think the slaves would have gotten so uppity. I mean, you know, Massa, you've been beating me real hard. Yeah, but I'm sorry, I brought you chicken.
I wouldn't have to whoop anybody. Everybody been
right.
waiting. We got Church's Fried Chicken.
Yeah, it's like, you do your job. I'll go to Church's, swing back here.
I'll pick some cotton. I know what good is.
Yes, Thomas Jefferson, I'll be real good for your chicken, Massa. I'd like to talk to you later, little lady.
Yeah. Daddy.
Good old Thomas Jefferson, President of the United States.
And we all know what the most racist chicken is. The Colonel's Fried Chicken. I mean,
what's wrong with little KFC?
You
don't like finger licking?
No, I love the Colonel's chicken, man. But it's the Colonel's chicken. That's that Southern fried racist chicken. I mean, come on, it's the Colonel, man. He's wearing a white suit.
Now you know what you've taken me to.
What?
Daddy, what do you have against the Colonel? He puts a chemical in the chicken that makes you crave for it nightly. That's why, smart ass.
What is that for?
So I married an axe murderer.
I knew once you did the accent that must have been, because I've never seen that movie.
Oh, that's so great. Daddy, why do you hate the Colonel? Because he puts a chemical in the chicken that makes you crave for it nightly. That's why, smart ass.
See, when you first started, I thought you were doing Bill Cosby. Because you put the doing it in the chicken.
You see, you put the schism in the schism of schism, you see,
You
and
put
then
the
your
jello in
chicken.
the chicken. Leon did say something that had me laughing. He's like, man, I'll keep talking about him. That guy has not had a jello pudding pop, a jello in years. You just keep bringing him back to
You
it.
know what, though? But when you sell your soul to Satan for advertising, you get that hung around your neck for the rest
Oh,
of
yeah.
your life.
Yeah, you're never going to live that
No,
down.
because he was a real honest to God comedian before he found Coke and Jello.
Well, no, come on. Bill Cosby, did he do Coke?
You don't remember his Coca-Cola commercials?
I remember the Coke. Oh, when you said Coke, I thought you were talking about like he did cocaine. Like
No,
like him and
like
Rob.
Coca-Cola.
Like him and
motherfucker.
Robin Williams would
Yeah,
do.
he did cocaine commercials. Him and Robin Williams. Were like, well, you see, this guy's mop of the Coke. You see, oh yeah, and you know a little bit of this and a little jazz hands and.
Well, the reason why I say
Worst
Coke,
Robin Williams impression ever.
was that Robin Williams? I thought it was still Bill Cosby.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Apparently,
no, the reason why I bring up Bill, and look, people, we're going to get to the top 5 in a second. I just want to bring up something.
fuck the top 5. Let's talk and
fuck
have
it.
fun.
Yeah, let's fuck it. I mean, okay, have you ever heard of Bill Cosby's song, Hickey Burr?
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Is it that's how we used to open the old Real Deal show?
Oh, Real Deal.
Hickey Burr.
Well, dum, dum. And here's the lyrics.
You know what's funny?
What's
a
that?
lot of these people don't realize that we always bring up the cause. The cause comes up a lot, but they don't realize that here in Austin, when we had our cable access show years ago, every episode was opened up with the cause.
Oh, we're doing that thing from Fat Albert.
Yeah.
Where there was an episode of Fat Albert where Bill Cosby warns people that this is a very special episode where the
Now,
Cosby
hold on.
kids go to
You
jail.
should, don't even say that. You should know the thing by heart by now.
I don't know it by heart.
Oh,
I don't.
God.
That's the thing. Well, let
We
me
used
see if
to-
I do.
We used to always mouth it when we were sitting in there. We would always just go.
Let me
off.
see if I remember that thing because I used to. There was one part where I took Bill Cosby's voice and I did a bad Bill Cosby impression. I put in Real Deal. And it was like, now before we begin the Real Deal, I'd like to talk to you about a few important. I don't remember.
You might hear some strong language
that's
on
what we
tonight's
remember.
show.
I like to warn you about a few things. Tonight's show will have some strong language.
Today's show.
So ask your parents to come in and watch the show with you. Thank you.
Yes. And we started every episode with that, and it was people loved it. In fact, there was a week where we didn't run it, and people freaked out.
And like, what happened? How can you just start the show, Bill Cosby?
And so we had to bring the Cosby
Because Bill
back
Cosby
instantly.
said he was going to sue our asses if we didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't say it.
No, in fact, we talked a long time about starting off every Real Deal animated episode with that, and there were issues with that, and
Yeah.
so it never carried over to Spill. But man, we should see if we can find that online and YouTube it. And
You know what? I'll digitize it and I'll bring it up. I'll put it.
It might already be on YouTube.
Somebody, I doubt it because I haven't put. Well, that no.
You
are
say
talking
you
about-
doubt it.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about somebody taking an episode of our show and put it up there.
No.
That episode probably is on YouTube. It
But
has to be.
that opening has to be somewhere.
Yeah, that's
And
of
would
course.
Be, all right, YouTube nuts, go for it. Pause the show, go find it, post it in the comment section. People need to see that opening to that episode.
And somebody find the song Hickey Burr.
Hickey Burr, Burr.
Because Bill Cosby, this is
Hickey
this,
Burr,
this-
Burr.
yeah, these are his lyrics to the song. I swear he was coked up when he did it. Gonna get some raggins, some rolls, ring hammers, ha ha ha, yeah.
Hickey Burr, Hickey Burr, Burr.
Bert Hickey,
Lord.
Bert Hickey Burr. I love him. I eat him
God,
all the time.
I want to hear that song now because that song takes me back, man. I haven't heard that song forever. That's how we opened up every Real Deal, man.
The dude was coked up. There's a horn section in there where he just gets excited. Did you get some roast sunshine?
Now,
Like,
I
what
wouldn't-
is wrong with him?
What's wrong with him? He had his own horn section. That's pretty fucking exciting, dude. If you had your own horn section, you'd be going nuts.
I'd be talking crazy too. Oh, so nice, so gay. He was like Bill Cosby was the first Pootie Tang. Before the Pootie Tang, that was Hickey Burr. So look that song
Hickey
up.
Burr, Burr.
Look up the clip from Fat Albert and look up Hickey Burr. Have a Bill Cosby moment.
And now that we've gotten through Hickey Burr, it's time once again for the top 5 brought to you by Spill.
All right, so here we are at the top 5.
The top 5, which brings us to which number, Corey? Why don't you give me a number? Bring us in. Number 5.
orgasmic. I love the way you caressing that mic stand and everything.
Oh, baby, you know I dig your mic stand.
All right.
You know I love it.
So let's
Give
see.
me a number 5, Corey. Give it to me. Give it to me real good. Give it to me
You
quick.
had coffee tonight, didn't you?
No, I did not, baby. I'm on a couple of cold ones.
I'm on love.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Number 5 is Australia.
Hey, it made the top 5. Awesome.
I didn't think it was going to make the top 5.
I was very curious. It was one of those things where people didn't even know it was ready. They've been reading stories for weeks that he's still working on it.
Baz Luhrmann, yeah. It's brought in $5.8 million. So
Over Thanksgiving weekend. Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, not doing extremely
Now is that
well.
all? Now is this counting all weekend or is this just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
That is counting just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So what is it?
It doesn't bring in like Wednesday and Thursday because it was released.
Tell
on
me
Wednesday.
what it's done for Wednesday and Thursday because that's the big thing.
I do not know.
Oh man! All right. Well,
I'm sorry.
oh, Corey, you let me down, man. You're letting me down.
I'm on. It might have. I don't know.
You don't have the total.
No, this
Bummer.
is this is Friday estimates that I have. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, that takes us to number 4.
Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace.
$8.3 million this weekend.
What do you expect?
Yeah, no, and I'm trying to find how much. 142 million so far. Oh, let me see.
Yeah, if you find out the grand total on Australia, that'll tell you what Wednesday and Thursday was as well.
I think it brought in. Okay. Is that? Wait a minute. Now, am I looking at?
Nobody knows what you're talking about, my man. You got to walk people.
Let me
through
tell you something.
This is audio.
I'm
not
looking
video.
at. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at. They've changed this. Now I go to different sites every week sometimes, and this week I'm on Box Office Mojo, and they switched something around here. But okay. So anyway, if you count. And it must be switched around because of, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go to Yahoo. I mean,
why don't you pause it? Pause it real quick. Pause this.
I'm going to go to Yahoo. I mean, I'm already on there. I don't want to pause. I'm just going to go to Yahoo because they got it saved out a little easier here. I mean, it's just numbers on top of numbers in fucking Box Office Mojo right now.
Yeah, that's what Box Office Mojo is. It's the numbers.
It's numbers, but I'm talking about the way it's organized right now. So, all right. This is a whole lot easier right here. All right. Now let me change that on Australia because apparently I don't know what I was seeing, but Australia brought in $14.8 million.
That includes the Wednesday and Thursday totals, which is what's important.
And so now it's the cumulative gross is $20 million.
$20 million. All right. Now we're talking $5 million meant shit.
I was about to say, then $5 million.
That may have been $5 million.
Because that was looking wrong to me too. I was like, this is not right. But all the numbers
might have been
are fucked up
today's
right
gross
now.
Sunday. But so $20 million, is it still 5th place?
And it's still 5th place.
Still at number 5. All right. Let's go to number 4 with Quantum of Solace.
And that brought in $19.5 million. And
Now
so
we're
far,
talking
it's 100,
real numbers.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
No, I wasn't looking right before, and I'm telling you, it was fucked up on Box Office Mojo. But yeah, it was.
I've been moving furniture all night, so I didn't read it at all.
Yeah, no, I barely got around to it myself, and then, so far that's brought in $142 million. So it's doing extremely well.
It is doing very
Brings us
well.
to,
it broke box office records in Britain.
Overseas, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. It's one of those things where as much as the early critics like kind of banged on it and people like Corey and Cyrus didn't quite understand it.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse you.
Yeah.
No, even though it's done huge numbers and shown that there's tremendous interest in the new Bond. And Daniel Craig, man, he's Bond, dude. He is fucking Bond. So we're going to see a third one, no doubt, in 2 years. And God, I hope it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the awesomeness of number 3.
By the way, I just said I didn't like the movie as much as Casino Royale. Still don't think it's as good as Casino Royale, but it's good.
I don't think it's as good as Casino Royale. I still love it. I think it's different.
No, I like the movie. I like the movie a lot.
I dig it. But that brings us to number 3, which is not a Bond film. It is
Your favorite movie, Twilight.
Twilight. Now, here's the interesting thing. Twilight was number 1 on Wednesday, and there was a big stir because people thought Twilight might upset this weekend.
Well, it dropped 65%. So.
But yeah, no, it dropped heavy. It was like the tweens on Wednesday went and saw it, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we saw that movie. That's the one with the gay ass vampires covered in glitter, right? Yeah, we don't need to see that shit again."
I'm gonna talk about Twilight. Not a big Twilight discussion like we had last time, but
that was all of a couple of cold ones. But so we'll move on and save.
And it's done good business. I mean, it's done record breaking business.
It's done incredible business.
It's pretty much done $120 million.
They announced on Saturday after the movie came out that they were making the sequel. We all knew they were going to anyway. but they announced it, and so we're going to see a sequel here shortly. Oh, and they're even talking about shooting the second and third ones back to back, like other major blockbusters.
This is nowhere. See, this is what baffles me. This is nowhere near the kind of level of Harry Potter and all that kind of shit. It's just not. But
for the budget they spent on it, and for an upstart studio like Summit, this was a big deal. What I like about this, as much as there's people out there going, "I hate that it made this much money," that money is going to go into producing other independent films, and I'm very curious to see what they do with it. That could fund some very incredible films. That's how these things work. Big blockbusters fund the type of films that don't make tons of money.
And like I said, for that, I don't know what the budget of that movie was, but it wasn't extremely high. You can tell looking at it.
No, you could tell it wasn't high. They did all their effects on somebody's laptop, for Christ's sake. That scene where he's running up the mountain is one of the most laughable fucking pieces of shit
that's not even a CG effect. That's him on a string.
Dude, quite literally, there are Sci-Fi Channel executives that are looking at that going, "That's a piece of shit. We would never air that on our television."
No, that studio just hit the right property, man. That's all.
They had the right property.
Yeah,
no, the film did not deliver where it could have or where it should have, but that's based on the source material as much as the film. But it had the audience. It brought them in, and it's going to bring them in next time too. But that brings us, speaking of bringing it in too, let's bring it into number 2.
So Bolt moved up a little bit.
Bolt.
Yeah.
See, Bolt, first of all, this was one of the things that shocked me when they put out Bolt. Bolt should have been released this weekend. Bolt should have been a Thanksgiving release.
That baffled me too, because Disney has done it over the past, released animated movies on Thanksgiving weekend, and this would have been the perfect time.
It would have been the perfect time. It would have been.
Why would you release that against Twilight?
Because nobody believed Twilight was going to do $70 million its opening weekend, and nobody thought that 13 and 14-year-old girls were going to go to it. Nobody knew that it was going to pilfer the audience. So now I know why they moved it up earlier. Because when you look at a movie like that, you have something like The Incredibles, which was released on like November 3rd when it came out, and it's $70 million its opening weekend. I mean, hell, at the beginning, at the beginning of this month, they put out Madagascar, and Madagascar did $70 million.
You know what Disney needs to start doing, especially since John Lasseter is working on Disney movies now. They just need to say a Disney Pixar production or something, because I mean, these movies Pixar does well just based on the Pixar name. Disney still has that they still not caught up to their level of CG movies as far as Pixar is concerned. So
I think Bolt is just as good as most Pixar.
Bolt
films.
is good. I mean, I thought Bolt was okay. I
You
still
didn't
think
like
Disney.
Bolt as much as I
No,
did.
not as much as you did. I think Disney still has a lot of catching up to do story wise with their CG movies to a level of Pixar. But Pixar,
You know what, except that
hold on. I'm just going to say just Disney still has a little while to catch up with them, and I think that they're lagging behind just because Disney is a name that is just, as much as it works for them and everything else, it's working against them when it comes to these CG movies.
I think that's absolutely wrong. I think Pixar's biggest problem is its stories. Half of its films are really good. Half of them are just retreads of older films.
With Pixar movies?
Yeah. Look at Cars.
Cars is one of their worst.
Yeah. No, Cars is one of their worst, and it's the one that's the most obvious because I liked it better when it was called Doc Hollywood. I mean...
But didn't you like Cars?
No. I didn't
okay.
like Cars. And I don't like most Pixar films. I'm actually the guy that's kind of not a big Pixar fan. I'm the guy that thought Finding Nemo was good, but it wasn't this amazing thing that everyone walked out going, "Oh, I cried. It was awesome." It's like, what? Really? Over a fish? I love WALL-E and I love Ratatouille. And I like a few of the other ones, but I'm not in love with it. The only other one that I'm in love with is The Incredibles.
Yeah, I have to disagree. I love Pixar movies. I love it, but the ones that are weak, I probably agree with you. Except for you like Monsters Inc. too, but
I like Monsters Inc. and I love it.
But the Toy Story movies, those are great.
I think those are good.
Everything that Pixar has done to me, story wise, and just the sheer imagination that they put into them has been great. Except for two movies, Monsters Inc. and Cars. Cars is
and
fucking
A
weak.
Bug's Life.
Oh, thank you. Yes, A
See, 'cause
Bug's Life.
that's the one that's the one that really grates on my nerves, because people are like, "Oh, it's the Seven Samurai." It's like, no, it's the Three Amigos. They're like, no, there's 7 of them, and they use the themes from the Magnificent Seven. It's the Seven Samurai. No, it's if they're a bunch of entertainers who get mistaken for real guys. That's the Three Amigos, not the Seven Samurai. The Seven Samurai is about 7 badasses who come to kick the shit out of a town. It's the A-Team, but there's 7 of them.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of people jumped on my case because I was one of the few people that said, you know something, Ants is a lot better than
Ants was
than
a lot
Bug's Life.
more entertaining than Bug's Life was.
But I think that overall, Pixar has proved themselves to be just a winning studio because of their stories. And Disney, they've already have a track record of being very weak with their stories when it comes to these CG movies. And,
Except I liked Bolt a lot. I liked Bolt a lot better than I like a lot of the Pixar films. I
Really?
felt it was on par with the better of the Pixar films.
I still think Bolt is a pale comparison to Pixar movies, but Disney's getting up there with them, and a lot of that has to do with John Lasseter.
It all has to do with John Lasseter. I mean, you look at the Pixar, you look at where they went from Chicken Little to Bolt. That's a light speed jump.
No, look at where they went from Meet the Robinsons to Bolt.
Yeah.
Meet the Robinsons is one of the most cocaine-driven movies. Like Bill Cosby on coke made that movie. So I was like, what the fuck is this?
Pick and burr.
You do the edit right here. But anyway, but look, I agree with you. Bolt is good. I'm glad the movie moved up a little bit.
I'm really glad that it moved up rather than down, because that's a good sign. That's saying that Disney did the right thing. They just released on the wrong weekend.
It's
how much is it made?
Well, it's made $66 million. So.
All right, so it's respectable now.
It's getting up there.
It's doing halfway decent numbers.
It's still not the numbers that they wanted them to do on that. And look, this isn't me saying this. I mean, this is because they
66 should have been its opening weekend.
Yeah, no. So it's a disappointment for the studio, but it does show that they are moving in the right direction.
Right.
So,
when you move up instead of down, that's a big deal. It's a really big deal.
But except that it's going to go down next few weeks just because of they released it at the wrong time.
Unless it does like it did here, where word of mouth catches and it has what we call legs, where people start saying, "Oh, you know what I saw? Bolt. Oh, I didn't know if that was going to be any good. I thought it was going to be as bad as Meet the Rock. Oh, maybe I should check that out."
I don't even think it's because of word of mouth. I just think that positive reviews have helped the movie, but it's also Thanksgiving weekend came when they should have released it.
There's no more family films coming out, my friend. That's going to be it for families. It's Oscar season now.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the number 1 film on the Spill Top 5.
Four Christmases, $31.7 million, actually it's a cumulative gross right now is $46.7 million.
Mediocrity, thy name is Four Christmases.
I saw it, and
was I right? It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it wasn't great. It's not even about Christmas.
No, I actually got some laughs out of it. Vince Vaughn is funny throughout that whole movie, but that movie is Meet the Parents, and it has more parents and not as much fun.
Yeah,
it's not that.
The one scene I didn't like Vince Vaughn in was the scene where he was Joseph. That was really kind of frustrating for me. But no, he was funny. Reese Witherspoon was great. All the actors in it were. How awesome was Jon Favreau, for Christ's sake? Every time he was on screen, he was hilarious.
You'd see, I disagree because he didn't have anything to do but just look mean.
But he was funny doing it. Like that scene where he's eating the wings and stare. He's like, "You're just eating wings," and it's kind of creepy. It was funny.
He was okay, but he didn't do anything. That's my problem with the movie. They have all these Oscar people in here, and they don't do anything with them.
No. This is not like you remember my review.
Yeah.
I mean, I did not give this a positive review. I said it was, and it was, no, there's so many great people in here that they elevate the material. That would not have worked if it weren't Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau made it interesting. He made it funny. Had it been some lesser actor, I don't think that character would have been funny at all.
Those scenes with them, in fact, that was kind of weak with them.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, they're two guys who just beat Vince Vaughn up. That's all they have to do.
No. I'm not talking about just him beating him up. I'm talking about like the scene later, like at the third house when he's at the hippie house with him, and he and his wife are playing Taboo.
Yeah, Taboo.
Yeah.
Again, it was a scene.
Mexican dude.
I mean, it was such a small scene that they didn't. The only thing that made me laugh with any of those characters was that one scene where his best friend comes in And
I didn't like that at
It's
all.
such a retarded scene, but it made me laugh. He comes in, he's trying to act like he's older, and he's like, "Hey, kids," and
I want to be your friend.
Yeah.
But I want to be your friend who's really your dad. No, that's creepy.
But see, the reason why it made me laugh because Vince Vaughn had the funny lines in that. He's like, "What are you doing? You know, you and I.
I
why
want to
you
be your
doing-
friend. We were friends. We were
Yeah,
best friends.
yeah.
And then
We
you
used to smell
fucked
each other's
my mom.
hands, and then, and then you go off and now you sleep with my mom. And all those scenes where he's just looking at him, where he's like, "Hey, you know what? I don't need your money. I make more money than you do."
Mom is a very sexual creature.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. They're just, but the whole film just doesn't work. It doesn't feel like a Christmas movie.
you know
for
why it
Christ.
doesn't work? Because they make the mistake of anybody who wants to create something oddball with families. They take it too far. They don't have really anything to do but throw in a bunch of physical comedy.
And they're all cliches.
Yeah.
You've got you now know what I'm talking about. There was the hippie house, there was the redneck house,
Yeah.
there was the born again Christian house.
And it's always funny to have the old women be horny and talk and say nasty
Yeah.
things. I was like, come on, man.
And can you
yeah.
imagine? Can you really imagine that this was the first theatrical fictional film by the guy who did King of Kong?
And I'll just, the weirdest thing about that is, what was the guy's name who was the teacher in King of Kong? The guy who's being challenged by Billy, what's his name?
Yeah.
He had a cameo in the movie.
Oh, did he?
He had a cameo in the movie because you hear Donkey Kong playing in the background, and then they come in and they're like, "This is my husband here," and it's a guy with a controller in his hand, obviously playing Donkey Kong.
That's right.
And it was the weirdest, most awkward cameo because the guy doesn't. The guy looked like they just drugged him and brought him there. He's looking, he has this weird look on his face, like,
Oh, I didn't even. I met that guy and I totally spaced that was him. You're right.
And he's not.
Oh,
look, they
shit.
should have gave the guy, and I can see why because the guy is a very soft spoken guy. I interviewed him not too long ago, and he's a real nice guy. They probably gave him some lines and said, "Okay, we can't even hear you talk, man. Just fucking sit there." So but no, I knew the movie was going to be number one
Because
but
it was
yeah.
Because it was Thanksgiving weekend. It was a Christmas.
And it's
movie.
Vince Vaughn. People
but it's
love Vince
like
Vaughn.
every year. It's that Christmas movie that you're going to forget about next year and it'll come out on DVD and go, "Oh, that." Because they always put out the Christmas movies a year later on DVD so that you buy them at Christmas.
Yeah, no, okay. So anyway, that's the top five.
That's the top five. All right, so we're done. Yeah, that's it.
All right, good night,
Thank
John.
you for listening to a couple of cold ones.
Go get some chicken and listen to Hickey Burr.
Burr.
Have a pudding pop. No, listen. I wanted to
Address the Twilight issue,
Yeah,
apparently.
because well, I only want to address one real thing here, and that is when co-host and I did our podcast. Now, a couple of people like, "Why are you're picking on Carlisle? And he's not even here," because we kept it going. Like it was the next night, and we kept it going.
Oh, you guys were talking about me and Twilight.
Oh yeah, we talking about Twilight and you and all this kind of stuff. And
I don't listen to it. So you were defending that lame ass piece of shit, and you were going with the tweeners. weren't you?
that's right. That's right. Well,
Lame.
I'll tell you what was going on. Okay,
You were being lame. That's what was going
I'm
on.
at my computer all night long, and you remember when you did your Lion King thing, and I said, this is great. Whatever it takes to keep people on the site. So I'm up all night just keeping this argument going with people as much as I can, keeping people on the fucking, because it's an argument that is done before it even starts. So I'm up with people all night who are like, "You're full of shit, man. You're getting soft. This fucking movie, you can't change fucking vampires. You can't do this." I'm like, yes, you can change vampires. No, you can't. And then they're like,
You can't.
Well, see, that's where this argument is done because it's like, you can do, and my whole thing was like, you can do anything you want within the creative realm.
As
Like,
long as.
No, not as long as. You can do anything you
Well,
want.
sure, but you can do anything you want, but that
No, you
doesn't mean it doesn't suck ass.
Well, again, that's what I said. Like, first of all, a lot of people say, "Why are you picking?" I was like, "Look, I had to just go in and tell some people, like, look, this argument, I'm not even doing this because I care. I'm doing this because I'm keeping shit on the site."
Now I think you're backtracking.
No, I'm not
You're totally
backtracking.
backtrack. Oh, this is a backtrack.
Oh no,
I
this
believe.
is not. Oh,
This is a backtrack.
no. It's not a backtrack because, like I said, it's normally in an argument out at a bar or something somewhere. It'd be like, okay, we agreed to disagree. Good night. Thank you. I mean, because
Except that like 95% of everybody came in and said, "No, you know what? All due respect, Corey, but you're full of shit."
Well, the reason was because a lot of people just came on wanting to hate the movie. Because first of all, I get
No, I will back you up on that.
Well,
A lot of people wanted to hate the shit out of this
Well,
movie.
this is the other thing. I had to it didn't even start from like the cold ones. People, listen to me. I'm not in the job of coming here and slamming something because you want me to slam it. No. I mean, I'm here to like review based on my opinion. Now, I went to see this movie and I didn't hate it. So fucking, if you want something different, if you want me to come in because you demanded that something be slammed because you hate the movie, you're in the wrong place.
No, the bravest thing any film critic can do is give an honest opinion in the face of an unpopular view. It's one of those things when you like a movie that everybody wants to hate, it's rough. I remember I took razzing for a year because me and Leon liked Shaggy Dog by people who never watched Shaggy Dog and didn't realize the reason we loved it was Robert Downey Jr. showed up in it and was hilarious. Now, if I mentioned, you know what, you need to see the Shaggy Dog, Robert Downey Jr. is incredible in it, people would go, oh, Iron Man's in it? Oh, we really should go see that.
See, that's the thing. And I'm getting this, first of all, from people like, really, what the fuck, man? You're going soft. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Corey was always soft.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
like the limpest one among us.
I'm Linguini Man. No, I'm sitting up here.
Linguini Man.
No, I'm sitting up here like giving an opinion, and then they're like, and this thing about you can't fucking change vampires, and now I'm like, okay, all right, you know what? I am in the business of keeping people, of getting hits on this site, run a website, and I'm like, should I engage this or should I not? And so
absolutely engage.
Exactly. So I'm up,
and
all night.
It's more than just hits. The thing, and this is the thing about when I brought up the Lion King. See, me and you haven't really ever talked about this notion, but this is one of the things that I love about film critique. Film critique pisses people off. It gets people angry. And when they get angry, they start thinking. And they start thinking for themselves and they start formulating their own opinions. And whether they agree with you or not, you have engaged the audience and gotten them involved in an argument. And so by getting yourself involved, you are getting these people to care about something and think about something that they may have not given a shit about 2 weeks ago.
That's exactly it. I mean, I'm not here to, like I said, normally outside of the site, and people see me, I don't, it's Twilight. I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, but the moment you come in and you say, okay, first of all, how could you do this movie? I'm like, well, this is my opinion here, and this is what I believe, and blah, blah, blah. And then they come back again, and how can you fucking say you can change vampires? Like, well, technically, anything you can do within the realm of imagination, you can do that, and you can change it all you want. Okay, well, that's not what I'm saying. Carlisle said that you can't change this and make it interesting. Well, again, somebody found it interesting, and, this keeps going. It is an infinite argument, and so I'm just sitting up there just baiting, just saying, hey, and I'm not tricking people. I'm not fucking with them.
No, there's a difference between tricking and baiting and getting people to engage in that.
No, I gave people, if I'm going to engage people in something, I'm not going to do it in a way that's like, ha ha, you're fucking full of shit. No, and I tell you, the only time I did get mad, it was somebody caught me at like 9:30 in the morning.
Which now, hold on. 9:30 in the morning for your time is you've been up, you've gone to school, you've had coffee, yada yada. 9:30 me and Corey time, that's like your 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
that's like we've got 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep left before we wake up. And if we're up at that time, something has gone terribly wrong.
No, I don't mind people. Look, I got called full of shit that whole time. I got called soft. I got called, what are you, crazy for giving this movie the street? All this kind of crazy.
Welcome to my world, my man. Welcome to my world.
Well, it really didn't matter. I'm like, this is kind of cool. This is kind of funny. And it's like, but see, the thing is,
welcome to my world.
But when you go in, a lot of people became cool when you gave them like, hey, I'm going to rationally give you my opinions here.
Absolutely.
And it never resorted to name calling or ugliness. People would just say, well, listen, this is my point here. And it's like,
so who was the douchebag that got
no, it wasn't. The guy was nice, man. Who
was it?
No, I'm not going to say, because the guy's nice. I mean, him and I kind of worked it out, but the only thing is that it was 9:30 in the morning. I just come off like a 27-hour period.
Kent.
And no, it was not Kent. Not at all.
No, and I'm sitting. Ken would have been brown nosing you the whole time.
And I'm sitting there.
You're right, Corey. You're so right. Even though I totally disagree with you, you're absolutely correct.
Well, even those people that came in and said, I agree with you completely. I even kind of just came in and threw some questions at them too. I mean, it was anything to keep people in discussion, because I'm sitting up there at my computer. I actually sat at my computer for like almost 27 hours.
Yeah. Welcome to my world, my man.
And I'm just sitting there taking breaks, and I don't get up because something's rendering. I'm just watching something on TV. So now this one guy comes along when I'm about to go to bed at this point. This is like, it's about to end.
You're exhausted.
It's the end. And somebody came on, and after I've been like so fair to people, so nice, and people being fair to me, somebody comes on and they say, you fucking idiots. And I'm just like, I don't know what happened, but I felt my hands get cold. A surge came through, and My worst. What's that?
I want to tell you something, Corey. Remember, we've talked about that whole thing with the penguins. God, what was I'm blanking on the name of it now.
Happy Feet.
Happy Feet. That's my experience with Happy Feet. That's exactly
really?
what happened. Had all these great conversations with people discussing the nature of the various things that are discussed in the film and whether it's appropriate for kids. And there's that one asshole that just snaps you after you've quit smoking and been up for 24 hours. You're just like, motherfucker.
That was it.
Yeah, it was the motherfucker moment.
And really, I would probably do this anyway because my biggest pet peeve in the world, and this is a personal issue with me too, is if I've been an asshole to you, if I've been drunk or talking crazy. I mean, I've had people just come up and tell me, man, you're a fucking ass. I'm like, you know what, you were right. But when I've been fair with people and cool and been having sane conversations, anybody, it gets to a point where if you talk down to me or insult my intelligence, it drives me crazy. And the reason why that happens is because I'm kind of nice with people. I'm goofy. I'm happy-go-lucky, and you get that one, two people who come up and they try to test you because. Take advantage of you because they think, oh, he never gets mad. He's happy about anything. And it happened here.
It's like, you don't understand. Corey is one crazy motherfucker.
Well, that was a while back when I was actually.
No, you're still, I mean, that was really crazy. That was, you were drunk half the time and throwing chairs at us. This is.
Which was wrong.
Which was wrong.
I admit that. I mean, this is the kind of shit that I've had a couple of street fights with people over things like this. You look like a dumb motherfucker. I mean, I remember one night I just fucking I fought a guy. Because he came up and I was drunk and he was drunk. Like, you about a goofy looking motherfucker, aren't you? And I just punched the guy and then we got into a fight.
My favorite Corey story that I wasn't present for was the one in which you got into not a fist fight, but a screaming match with two girls walking down the street. Like you were walking and you had said something to them and they were like, shut up, you dumb motherfucker, something like that. And you just went off on these girls. And Leon was with you and was just like, Jesus Christ, dude, what the hell? And you were smashed that night.
I mean, what he doesn't tell you is that I had a bottle looking for another guy that came up and pushed me, and the guy ran, and I came up. I was looking for him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But that was a while
Kids,
back.
Alcohol is not a toy.
That's a hell of a drug. But no, this one guy said, man, you fucking idiots. And I came on and I just lost it. I was like, you ever fucking talk down to me again, I'll kick your ass right off this site. And then I said something to the effect of, if you're going to come up with me, if you're going to come at me with an argument, come at me with something other than trying to pass your opinion off as fact. Now call me a fucking idiot one more goddamn time. And he just like, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, and you know what, I need to print this up for you. I have this printed up and sitting next to me on my computer, right next to my computer on my bulletin board. It's the have you ever seen that picture that kid in the Special Olympics running?
Oh yeah, no, you're still a retard even if you win the Special Olympics, something like that.
Winning winning an argument on the internet is like winning at the Special Olympics.
Yeah,
no matter
if you
who
win,
wins,
you're still retarded.
You're still retarded.
Yeah, well, I know that quote, and I actually, like I said, I don't normally do that with people.
To remind me for those moments, so that guy gets me. Oh, you mother. Okay, yeah, no, I need to relax for a second and let this guy, other people will come in and rip him apart. I don't need to do it.
Well, this guy didn't need to be ripped apart. I mean, it wasn't just like you fucking idiots too. It was more like there was another quote in there like, now pay attention, Corey. And like, look, people, I'm not, you can call me full of shit. You can say I'm crazy. You can call me, that stuff is fine. I mean, I'll keep that stuff going, but if you catch me at the bad time where you're talking down to me, that's just something I just won't tolerate. It's just what my one pet peeve, and it's just hard for me to put up with. Now, would I kick this guy off the site? No, that's not professional. I would not have done that. And did I apologize to him later? Yeah, I did. I did say, let's not resort to that kind of name calling. No, when I've been nice to people. That's all. I mean, and that seldom happens with me. So, as far as the Twilight debate, though, I actually had a lot of fun talking to people. I hope it continues to be along that lines because I got to give people credit for as much as they were coming in and being pissed off about me giving this movie what they considered too good of a review. Everybody was still cool. Everybody was still nice. Everybody maintained their composure no matter how crazy they thought I was. So,
well, because Spill is yet to devolve to what we have over at Ain't It Cool News. Well, because that's where the crazy shit happens.
And I'm kicking all those motherfuckers off.
Oh my God. Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing. See, that's the thing is the people on this site, easy compared to talkbackers, man. Talkbackers are evil.
No, those people, I'll just probably have to ignore because I'm gonna throw my computer across the room. Those motherfuckers come in. Now, I'm not even throw my computer across the room. I'm gonna find their number. I'm gonna find their addresses and I'm gonna track them down. Find out who these sons of bitches are. But I mean, anyway, look. Anytime we can have those kind of discussions, don't ever think with me. Look, people, it's the internet. Don't ever think with me that it's about being right or wrong. It's about me having people here debating this shit.
It's Twilight.
And it's Twilight, too.
It's Twilight.
I
really,
said,
really, it's fucking Twilight. You guys will forget about it 3 months from now.
Well, it's Twilight, but...
Twilight? Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's Twilight, but you know something? There'll be another discussion like this later over something that's just as much nonsense, and I welcome that. I mean, people need to come on here and do that kind of shit. Like I said, if nothing else, I'm not being shiesty. I'm not coming in and using people, but anything to keep these motherfuckers on the site talking. And I mean, not just talking bullshit, but if we are engaging them, please, stick around, talk.
Well, it's my motto, you know, the thing I live by. In order to do this job, my job isn't to be right. My job is to make people think. A lot of people think a critic's job is to be right, and that's not what we do, because you're right for how many people? You know, there's only a certain amount of people that have the same kind of experiences and see film the same way as you. But if I can get even the people that disagree with me, the people who think that I don't know shit about movies, to think about them, to engage them, and to look at the film a different way, then I have done my job. So that's my job.
You're being nicer than I am, because I can tell you I'm not backtracking, because I still think.
I don't think you're backtracking.
Well, no,
I'm giving you shit because you gave me shit online.
I know what you do.
And because there were at least 3 or 4 motherfuckers that said, well, Corey said that you were backtracking, so clearly you must not realizing that you were trying to paint me into a corner.
I'm not trying to paint you into a corner. I'm not trying to fuck you. I do think you still feel strongly about that opinion.
You're looking at me like I am a sexy piece of meat, and you were like, God damn, that Carlisle is one hot motherfucker. I'm going to fuck him in the ass.
Just like this, like I'm not backtracking because I'm not going to be nice about it. I still think that's the fucking craziest argument. People coming in and telling me that you cannot change fucking vampires. I'm still going to tell you, yes, you can. And I don't care how many people come in and say you're wrong. That's a matter of opinion.
But you're cutting off the end of the argument. I mean, my point was, I think that, in fact, somebody made my point better than I did. It was so great. I forget who you were, but you really nailed it. You can call an apple an orange, but it doesn't make it an orange. That really, when you change things so much that it is fundamentally not what you're calling it, it is not the same thing. Yes, you can, dude, you were right in that, and I agreed with you at the time that you can do different things with the vampire mythos, but there comes a point when there's almost nothing left of the original mythos. You're just calling vampires something that aren't vampires.
I'll have to say that is still a matter of opinion.
Sure.
I mean, and look, some people will agree with you and then some people won't. I mean, that's the thing. That's what makes it that opinion. An apple, yes, you can look at that and say, that's what it is. That is a fact. 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, that's what it is. But to tell somebody that they can't do something, and the thing is, and this is what I did to this guy that was calling me an idiot. Now I don't want to carry this discussion on any further.
Because we're still talking about Twilight.
I know, because we're still talking about Twilight.
I really want to move on from Twilight. No, Twilight was like so weak.
Oh no, I just said this much. I just said it was told to me like, you can't do this and you can't change anything up. And I said, okay, opinion. You can't change blah blah blah. Fact. There is a book called Twilight where they have changed vampires, and the other fact is that
doesn't make it good.
Well, again, that's a matter of opinion.
It is a matter of opinion. Because my opinion is crap.
And there are people out there who made this movie a hit, who their opinion is this is great. Now, you and I might, again, a disaster movie. Do I think it's the shittiest movie in the world? That's what I think. Yes.
Really? The world?
Of the world. Disaster
I don't think disaster movies. I don't even think disaster movies is the worst movie this year. I think Meet the Spartans was much more painful.
Meet the Spartans didn't come out last year.
Yes,
they released 2 fucking movies.
Yes, that's the thing is the number 1 and the number 2 spot of the worst films this year are those 2 motherfuckers.
These motherfuckers.
And you know they're going to have another. I mean, I assume they're going to have another one. I haven't seen any news on it.
These sons of bitches.
I hope that maybe the rest of the world has woken up and said, "Fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck them in their stupid asses," and we don't have to see a movie of theirs.
Now, do you see the fire of anger that I come at with this movie? I hate this movie. Disaster movie
Which one do you hate more, Disaster Movie or Meet the Spartans?
Disaster Movie.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's where I have to disagree with you. That's where you're an idiot. Because you were a fucking idiot because you cannot see that Meet the Spartans is a far worse fucking movie than Disaster Movie.
I'm glad you're kidding.
I'm absolutely kidding. No. Can we at least agree that they're both the two shittiest movies of the year?
Oh yeah, definitely,
Absolutely.
hands down.
I mean, we can do that now. The number 1 and the number 2 spot, no surprise on worst movies of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Friedberg, Aaron Seltzer, fuck you.
That spot is reserved for them. They got a standing arrangement there.
Wow, I like the F word tonight.
But you know something? The thing is, if a kid who's 14 years old and comes to me and says, you know what, Corey? I like this movie. I was like, no, you can't like that movie. That movie's terrible. Well, change my mind. You know, can you do it? Can you go into my mind and reprogram me? No, you can't. I like the movie. What can I say? I can just let that kid.
But
I can.
That's the CIA.
Yeah, exactly. I can reprogram if I wanted to. A lot of torture and whatnot. But yeah, that's more work than it's worth. But you know, if the kid,
you're going to come out. I'm going to see you next week and you're going to be, Twilight was a terrible movie.
Exactly.
Oh shit, it's the CIA. Fuck.
Yeah, somebody got a hold on me. One of the people on Spill.
Did I mention about how great Meet the Spartans was? It was incredible.
But you know, if the kid likes that movie, I can't change his mind. He's going to like it no matter what. So, I mean, that's what opinions come down to, with movies especially. So, that's it. That was, I hope we get into more debates, because I think, y'all are full of shit out there. Oh, you want me to pause? Okay. He said pause it, and it turns out both of us had to take the biggest piss.
Yeah, except mine was clearly the biggest, because I left and you were sitting on the couch. I came back and you were sitting on the couch.
When I came out, I passed by the door and I heard, and I was like, damn, he's gone, man. Like, what did he drink? How long?
I just downed 3 beers over us talking Twilight.
Damn. Okay.
And the top 5.
The top 5.
I'm out of beers.
By the way, I didn't mean to call y'all full of shit. Again, we're going to have to agree to disagree.
He didn't mean to call you full of shit, but you are.
But you are full of shit.
Unless you're backing me up and talking about how you can't change vampire mythos, at which point Corey is just a fucking moron.
No, fucking idiot is what you mean.
No, I'm calling you a moron.
Oh, boy, let me find this empty beer.
I prefer the term moron to idiot. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like imbecile. It's an old medical term for a retarded person.
2 empty bottles waiting for your ass over here after we're done. I want to finish this first.
Old school Corey's coming back.
Exactly.
Here, I'll hand you this chair so you can throw it at me.
I'm just thinking, I've done some crazy shit. I fucking punched a guy in the middle of the street.
You have done some really... I saw you get in a fight with Leon.
Damn.
In public at a bar to where they had to ask you to leave. Nobody fights with Leon. I mean, occasionally him and Chris, or him and Cyrus have a lover's spat, and you know, occasionally they're like, "Oh, hey, look, we're in love and we're arguing with one another over this movie." But really, when it comes down to it, nobody argues.
Oh man, I got kicked out of like so many bars back then.
I've seen you get kicked out of bars.
Yeah, I kids. Your Uncle Corey has had a really crazy past. Shamefully, street fighting, drinking, just throwing up in all kind of weird places.
I hate the fact that you call yourself the Uncle Corey, because the drunken Uncle Corey is such a stereotype.
Well, I mean, there was a period. And honestly, it came from me just not getting a whole lot of sleep either, just working too hard.
It was a combination. Was you weren't sleeping and you were drinking in place of sleep, and that created a very special, perfect storm of aggression that just was impossible to deal with. It was great. It was awesome.
4 years.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah, I've learned to control myself a whole lot better.
So now you and I were talking earlier, and we were kind of concerned we wouldn't be able to find anything to talk about tonight.
I told you there'd be a lot to talk about.
I knew there would. I never really worry about it, but we brought that up, and then we talked about the fact that nothing is happening right now.
Okay, now why is that? You said you're going to tell me why nothing was happening.
All right. There's a reason why there's not a lot of news coming out right now. SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, has been working without a contract since June. Now, they did not want to strike. They didn't want to go through what the writers just went through, because not only did the writers not get almost anything they want, the writers ended up getting screwed when all was said and done, which I knew was going to happen from the beginning. It was part of the reason I was so frustrated, was the way they went about the strike and what they asked for was wrong. And what they were asking for, they did in the wrong way. The Screen Actors Guild didn't want to do that, so they've let things go, and they've been working without a contract. But the problem is, once again, the producers are screwing people out of stuff. They're screwing the writers out of what they promised the writers. Everything's going wrong, so the Screen Actors Guild is about to strike. Nobody wants to set anything up right now when an indefinite strike is going to happen.
Is that why they moved some movies into the
No,
spring
I'll talk about that in a second. No, the main thing right now is the fact that what nobody's been talking about for 6 months is that almost nobody's making movies. There are no movies being made because of the Screen Actors strike, because everyone's been terrified. Because if you start making a movie when there's no contract and you're making the film, and 2 days into making the film, someone says, we're striking, and they vote and they strike, you're screwed. Your movie is put on the shelf indefinitely with whatever you've got shot. There's nothing you can do. So people they've been sparsely shooting movies. There's almost no movies being shot in Hollywood right now. Is this quiet strike that no one was talking about. But now that it's becoming loud, nobody's doing anything at all.
Really?
And so there's no news, there's no press on stuff. And add to that the holiday season, and you've got this crazy quiet where nothing is happening.
Well, yeah, because I had called, I'd emailed Jamie, and I said...
now, Jamie is one of our corporate, silent, shadowy corporate masters.
Yeah, they've heard me talk about Jamie before. He's a site producer, pretty much. I mean, he's the one he's the guy that's helping bring in the money. So
we should give out his email to everyone so that they can email him and tell him what a great job we're doing.
Doing a great job we're doing. I thought you were going to say what a great job he's doing. Because he is doing a great job. Man, that guy works his ass off. But Jamie, I emailed him. I said, hey, man, let's update the front page because it's been that way for a few days. And he emailed me back and like, I put up some stuff, but there's just not a whole lot going on.
Now, see, me, I was actually working my ass off over Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, yeah, no, you put up a lot of stuff.
I did.
In fact, you put up a blog about something that's cool that's happening to us right now. We're getting some major screeners, man.
Cole is the man.
Yeah,
I don't know if Cole's listening, but Cole is this 18-year-old kid. He's not 18, he's 20 now.
Actually, he's 20.
He's 20. 2 years ago, he decided he wanted to start up his own website here in Austin and review movies, and nobody cared. It was literally one of those things where he just went and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it on my own. And what he did was he was brilliant enough he started getting into the screenings, and he came to all the critics in town and said, look, you guys don't have a film critic association. I'm going to start it up. And he started up the Film Critic Association, got us all signed up, got us all in, and started petitioning the studios. And when he did that, he was smart enough to acknowledge how the system worked and saw the window of time when the first critic groups were releasing their lists.
Yeah, and that's what it's for. So it's when critics across several cities get their best of list together for movies.
Yeah, and every Film Critic Association, the main reason they're there is at the end of the year they give out awards to the best films of the year. And he put us right up front at the first people so that we get recognized in the press.
And so now we're getting screeners from major studios.
Everything.
Yeah, we got screeners from shit. I would have said, man, if I know we got this movie in the mail, I wouldn't have gone to the screening. Like Frost Nixon, we got, and
but
Slumdog Millionaire.
I'm glad, but don't mention too many of them. Well,
why not? I mean, that's what
I have personal reasons. Just
your own personal reasons. Okay, your own.
Follow me on this.
All right.
So anyhow, point is, we've gotten a lot of the year's best movies, and we've been getting a lot of cool screenings very early. We've got one tomorrow of a film that doesn't come out for almost a month that we're really looking forward to, Benjamin Button's.
Yeah.
And
then the one that they're looking forward to, probably more than anything, we got Punisher on Tuesday, which will probably be the top of every critic's list for number
dude,
one.
I've got my fingers crossed on that. Come on. It's a new director. It's a new Punisher. It is effectively a reboot. So.
Okay, I will say that. Now, you know me. I am fair.
I don't know you at all. Who the hell are you, stranger?
Who am I? After all that shit I talked about Twilight and everything, I'm going to be fair here and say, look, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. It could be great. Am I impressed by what I've seen, though? Not really.
No, neither have I. I saw the trailer and said, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want it so bad to be good because I want to see a good fucking Punisher movie because I love the fucking Punisher. Punisher's a great character. He deserves a great fucking movie. And you know what? This could have been it. I love this director's last movie.
It's a woman director. What was her last movie?
Lexi Alexander, Green Street Hooligans.
Green Street Hooligans, that's right.
Which was just called Hooligans over in the UK.
You know, she's a kickboxer, too.
Yeah, no, she's a badass.
Beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, she would.
You better like that movie.
And she got Frodo to be awesome in Green Street Hooligans. So, no, it's... No, I'm looking forward to that movie, but no, we've got all these
Kick-Ass
great
Hobbit?
screeners coming in. So literally, we're sitting at home on our players, watching the best movies of the
I
year.
mean,
and
the downside
oh.
of that is that I do like watching movies on the big screen, and I have a tendency to get distracted when I'm at home. So
Well, see, that's why I have a projector, and that's why I turn off my phone when I'm watching. Like when
can't-
I was watching
I can't-
Slumdog Millionaire the other night, turned off the phone, sat down, popped it on, cranked up my stereo, and watched the shit out of that movie. And god damn it, that movie was good.
I
How
think that's
good
the
was
first time
that
I've
movie?
ever heard somebody say that. I watched the shit out of that.
I watched the shit out of that
like
movie.
that line in it's like that line in Pineapple Express. I'm gonna kill the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
But no, that movie's great, man. Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh God, was that good? I can't wait to review it with the guys. I mean, that's really that's one of those great movies this year.
Yeah.
The way I like to describe it is if Frank Capra directed City of God, this is the movie that he'd
That's
make.
a good. That's a good.
Because it's so dark and grim and depressing, but then it comes back to these simply magical moments and it culminates in a dance sequence for Christ's
well,
sake.
that's
It's
of
awesome.
course it's a Bollywood film essentially
Kind of.
that Danny Boyle's trying to make. So it's
Kind of.
Well, yeah,
he breaks the cardinal rule of Bollywood at the very end of the film, though.
which is what.
Oh, well, I don't want to kissing. You're not supposed to kiss in a Bollywood film.
You're not supposed to kiss.
You don't. You go watch Bollywood films. They don't kiss. It's like showing sex in a Christian film. You don't do it. You know, it's something that's acknowledged, but you never show kissing in Bollywood. And he ends the film with a kiss.
How can you be in a country with that many people exploding as far as population explosion and they're not showing anybody?
That's
for all I know,
the wrong word this weekend, my man.
In India, they got kids being born with 6 faces and shit. They might be exploding next, but yeah, I mean, and they don't want to show people kissing on the screen.
No.
Give me a fucking break, man.
Oh, dude, and how do you think Europe looks at us?
Oh, I know.
What do you mean they don't show nudity?
Because we don't want to show tits on
What kind
commercials?
of barbarians are they? I mean, it's prime time. Parents know what are these heathens? What are they, Quakers?
I'm still trying, man. I'm a lobbyist, by the way, for Show More Tits on TV.
Well, we both founded that.
Exactly.
The Show More Tits on TV group.
people, I'm going to Washington every weekend trying to.
We
get more
want
tits
you,
in
the
commercials.
Spilios, to show us your tits. That's what we want.
Yeah, exactly. I want Elmo to be
Especially
like,
the ones that are overage and hot.
Oh yeah, no, I want a special guest to come
Like
on.
Ryan Quarterman.
Yeah. Right. Oh, get out. I want Rachel Ray to show up on Elmo's World topless. You know, I'm fighting for that
Rachel,
kind of shit.
dude, I ran into Rachel Ray last year.
Where?
Dude, I was down at Guero's.
Rachel Ray. We're talking about Rachel Ray from the Food Network.
Yes. Oh, well, and that does the Oprah show. You know, the
See, I don't watch Oprah. She does stuff.
no.
on Oprah.
Oprah discovered her, and she has her own show.
Oh,
yeah,
is that how she
Ray.
got her show? Oprah discovered her.
Yeah. But no, I literally, we were down at Guero's after BNAT last year, and we all walk in, and there's Rachel Ray walking out with several friends, and I'm like, and everyone's like, oh, hey, look, it's Rachel Ray. And I'm like, she's Rachel Ray.
Oh, yeah.
She's pretty, and she makes good food.
In 30 minutes.
And dude, she's awesome. Dude, you know, say what you will about daytime television, Rachel Ray is like my secret crush.
Man, no, I watch Rachel Ray. I watch
She's
her,
awesome.
and I'm not even. Normally, I would be perverted and say I'm looking at Rachel Ray, thinking about her naked. No, I'm looking at what she's cooking.
No, dude, she's incredible cook. I've
cooks that shit in 30
taken
minutes?
several of her recipes and
Oh, yeah.
and made those, and man, that she's a good cook.
I haven't done it yet, but I'm listening because
Oh, see, I cook every night.
with
so.
my schedule. Please,
I am a world accomplished chef who makes the world's greatest lasagna.
you do make a good lasagna. Are you in the kitchen with one of those chef's hats too?
No, I
Cooking
don't
with
wear the hat.
cooking with a rat like rat tips.
I don't wear. I wear my ball cap. That's what it's just me with my backwards cap.
Well, I would say let's get into some email, but we are approaching an hour right now.
Well, you know what? Hit the email then. Let's hit it. We're on
do
a
you-
roll,
okay,
motherfucker.
all
Let's
right.
answer at least one.
Okay, let's answer one email here.
Let's see how it goes.
You know what? I'm going to knock out 2 emails at one time because a lot of people. Here, I'll go ahead and read one.
As long as it's not about the Dark Knight, that's all I ask.
And people have started emailing me saying, "Who's your favorite villain in The Dark Knight?" And they're like, "I'm just kidding." And I'm just like, man, you better be.
The thing is I actually got those fucking questions. Oh, so tired of those questions.
Well, yeah, no, I'm getting.
Talk about something else.
Let me see.
Like
here.
Slumdog Millionaire. Frost Nixon.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to pick an email, and if that's an email that's good, then so be it. If not,
So
then
be it.
yeah.
Hit us. Don't waste people's time. They're sitting here listening, waiting for an email right now.
Okay,
They need your magic, Corey.
Let's see.
Give us that email magic.
this is from Aaron. Aaron says, I got a good question for
Hi,
Coco.
Aaron. I hope it's a good question.
You're not going to like this, but there's been several questions of this kind, and I'm just going to go ahead and answer it anyway. With Christmas less than a month away and the release of For Christmas, a movie that I found to be not of classic worth, but still fun, what are some of your favorite Christmas movies?
Why wouldn't I like that question? That's a good question.
Well, okay, personally, I don't like the question of what's your favorite blank, blank, blank. Because I get that so many times.
Well, but he said, what are your favorite? No. I mean, absolutely. But it's a good question for us to discuss.
This is a good question because I can't think of too many. I can only think of one, A Christmas Story.
That's your favorite?
That is
mine.
mine.
Every Christmas Eve, I watch the same Christmas movie. That's how before I go to bed, I watch Love Actually.
That's your favorite Christmas movie?
I love that movie. And in fact, somebody just blogged about it the other day, and I commented on that because I love that fucking movie. I watch that movie every single Christmas Eve. It came out in like November of the year it came out, and I went on Christmas Eve to see it in a theater. And ever since then, I've had it on DVD and watched it every single year. I've pulled it out. It is sitting by my DVD player so that on Christmas Eve this year, I will sit down and watch Love Actually. If you want an experience, if you want to watch a movie with Carlisle, pull out Love Actually on Christmas Eve or rent it and sit down and watch it on Christmas Eve, just like your buddy Carlisle. That's my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
All right. Well, mine truly is. I'm not just saying this because when I first saw A Christmas Story, I said,
great movie.
This is my movie. And I'm the kind of guy that will watch it on TBS during that 24-hour spin. Now, that said, I'm not too much of a Christmas movie type person because I watch Christmas specials. I have to watch Charlie. But wait, hold on. I have to watch a Charlie Brown Christmas every year, and I watch that probably 3 or 4 times. And then after that, I am really into the old animated Christmas specials. Rudolph's Shiny New Year, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
the Rankin Bass stuff,
Frosty the Snowman, and the Christmas Without a Santa Claus.
Now, I remember one Christmas, I actually bought you the big set of all the music from the Charlie Brown Christmas.
I'm proudly displaying it on my desk.
No, you display it. It's one of those things we sit down to record in your bedroom, and it's always there. And it's like, oh, hey, I bought that for him. No, you love those Christmas specials. You love them hard. I was going to say, what I was trying to say, I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was trying to say, those count. That's your thing. You love those Christmas specials.
Oh, yeah. No,
me, on the other hand, I watch Love Actually, but I also, I mean, come on. I love Frank Capra. Love Frank Capra. So I have to watch. Who doesn't watch It's a Wonderful Life?
And I didn't want to name that because everybody knows. I think that's just a given right now.
But you know what else I watch every year?
What?
Die Hard.
Oh, do you?
Fucking Die Hard, dude. Die Hard is one of the greatest Christmas movies ever. Oh my God. Alan Rickman as Hans. And, it's just fucking Bruce Willis tearing up a building on Christmas Eve. But it's got all this great Christmas music and this great Christmas setting. It's just such a fun Christmas
movie. If you want to get into that, the movies that are set during Christmas.
Absolutely. They're Christmas movies.
But are not exactly joyful and cheerful.
Sure.
Gremlins.
I don't watch it every year, but I watch it every few years, and Gremlins is a lot of fun.
I don't watch it every Christmas, but I watch Gremlins about once a year. It's because it's on somewhere, and I love that movie. I mean, I don't know why.
Because it's a great movie. It's Joe Dante's best.
It's a dumb movie, but I love that movie.
It's not a dumb movie.
Yeah, no, it is a dumb movie.
It is not. Shut your filthy mouth. Gremlins is awesome.
I love that movie, but that movie's dumb. And in fact, I didn't even realize how dumb until they made Gremlins 2, where they had the guy like, that's not good. See, you're doing a Wookiee version of that. It's
I'm doing the Wookiee. I'm celebrating Life Day is what I'm doing. There's a joke for all you hardcore Star Wars fans out there. Life Day, baby.
The Star Wars Christmas special.
Amen.
That's the ultimate right there. If anybody wants,
you don't get nerdier than watching that. If you actually watch that on Christmas, I want to kick your nerd ass.
And there are people who do.
They do, and I want to kick their nerd ass.
If you can, this Christmas, find the Star Wars Christmas special.
Don't do it.
No, please.
It's
people
a trap.
That's why you have to watch
it. It's a trap.
It falls under that thing of it is so bad it is good. And if you want to see the coolest, it's amazingly bad. I mean, we're talking about
Harvey Korman's in it for Christ's
B. Arthur's in it.
Yes.
What's his name?
So bad.
Hey, Ralphie boy. Ed Norton's in it. And
Not Ed Norton.
Ed Norton's in it, and you know who else is in it?
Not Ed Norton.
Oh, well, that's not the actor's name, but I'm talking about the guy who played Ed Norton. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, Ralphie boy, you know, whatever the actor's name is. And then they had the Croft puppets in there too.
Yes, they did.
God damn,
That was a fucked up show.
Here's the ironic thing about that Christmas special. It is the worst thing that. What's that? No, you know Ed Norton was on the. You know Ed Norton was on the Honeymooners. Yeah. Whoever played the actor, whoever played the character of Ed Norton on the Honeymooners, it was in that special.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about? What's his name?
I do.
Well, what's his name?
Hey, Ralph, I don't remember.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. So get the fuck out of here. But no, here's the thing.
Ed Norton was in it.
It's the worst thing that George Lucas has ever done, even worse than the prequels. But it is probably
it is. You know what?
But it is the best thing that we will see with Boba Fett in it.
Boba Fett is awesome in that. Isn't
Yeah, they got that Boba Fett cartoon special. Yeah.
That's why people love Boba Fett is right there. The Star Wars Christmas. That Christmas special is ass. Oh my God, is it terrible? It's on YouTube. You can find all 3 parts.
And you could probably find a better copy than what's floating around because I have a copy somewhere, but it's shitty. You can't. Yeah.
Well, it was passed around. It was one of those copy of copies for years because it was the only way you could find it. Because Lucas wanted to bury it because he looked at it and said, "Oh God, we did a lot of coke back then, didn't we? Fuck.
What the fuck was I thinking doing this?
Life Day? Did we seriously think Life Day was a good idea?
Christmas for Wookiees is Life Day, so that's and they're trying to get back to like
there's
Wookiee
a
Planet for Life Day.
10-minute sequence of Wookiees talking to each other in Wookiee.
Not 10 minutes.
And the dad's masturbating to porn on the internet.
And there's words to the Star Wars theme, and Princess Leia sings them. So,
oh God, I forgot about that. Oh,
yeah,
it makes me cringe.
You gotta
it's
watch
so
this
bad.
shit.
It's oh my God. Those of you who haven't seen it, you are in for such a treat. It is going to destroy Star Wars for you for like 6 months. It's kind of like when you have sex with a girl who's like really fucking nasty and smelly, and it just like your balls shrivel up and you can't get a hard on for a week and a half. It's gonna be like that with Star Wars. You won't be able to watch Star Wars because you'll want to sing the theme song.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm scared to tell people to watch it because people are going to look at it and they're going to be like, "Oh shit, the prequels ain't that bad." At least they're not the Christmas special.
Yes, they are. But yeah, the Christmas special makes the prequels look like sugar fried awesome.
Yeah, no, those prequels are genius compared to this.
So you know what? Let's just do one more. Let's do
one
another
more?
email. Give me one more email. Those are our Christmas movies.
Okay, well then I have to pause this and render it out. So hold on. Okay, so here's a good email right here.
All right,
and
one more.
It comes from Russell, and it's another one of those.
Hi,
what are your favorite? But this is a good one though. I just read through here and I see what he means. He says, "Though you guys are a man's man, Corey, and whoever you're hosting with, what are your 5 favorite non-traditional romantic movies that you like and why?" And he gives some examples right here. Oh well, I'll read what his example is. An example is a movie like The Terminator, where it is a sci-fi movie, but essentially has a love story of a man who comes back in time for a woman he has only loved through a picture. And then he puts some other movies down who are like that. Dark Man, Ghost, The Man from Elysian Fields, Point of No Return, Amelie, Highlander, Terminator. Mine would probably be Shaun of the Dead, which is pretty much says a romantic movie with zombies.
Yeah, no. In fact, Edgar just set out to make a romantic comedy zombie movie. He calls it a rom-zom.
Yeah, exactly.
He's long called it.
So I mean that simply put, I mean right there, I can because there's so many movies like that can go on all night. I'm not going to name 5. I'm just going to name 1 right now. So
right on. I would. I mean, the first one that comes to my mind is About a Boy. I love that movie. Because About a Boy is really a story of, of an older guy who never got his life together, connecting with a young 12-year-old boy and learning about what's important with life. But at the same time, he ends up falling in love with the perfect woman as a result because he's able to connect with a young boy. And I think that's such a great film. That film really really works for me. I love that film. Another one that's kind of like one he mentioned with Terminator, Time After Time.
Oh yeah, I remember that
with Christopher Reeves back in
Yeah.
1980, I think that is, or 1981. Such a great film where it's a time travel film where a guy goes back in time to fall in love with a woman he's only seen in a picture, which is a really beautiful film too. It's so good.
If you want to know a depressing movie that falls along these lines, but
I'm sorry, strike that. I called it Time After Time. It's Somewhere in
Somewhere in Time.
Time
and
After
that's the
Time
one with
is the Jack
Christopher.
the Time After Time is the Jack the Ripper movie.
Yeah.
Which Jack the Ripper goes forward in time.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Time is the Christopher Reeves movie.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
The movie I'm thinking of, it's a very depressing movie, but it's driven solely by a man who's looking for his love and he wants to save her. It's Miracle Mile. And have you seen Miracle Mile before?
No.
Miracle Mile, this guy, and I forgot who the guy is that plays it, but there's a guy in a diner, and on his radio, on a radio in the diner, they hear that there's going to be a nuclear attack. And I think he's in New York.
Oh God, I know what this is. Yeah, I haven't
so
seen this, but
he's going across New York as people are going crazy because somebody says, I have a chopper that we can get to, can take us to Alaska, and we'll probably be safe there. And they say, get to this helicopter at this point, or you're not going to get, you're just not going to be on board. So he goes across town while New York is going insane. I think it's New York. I'm not sure. It's been years since I've seen this, but the town is going crazy. People are looting. They're going nuts. They're killing each other. And he's just trying to get through all this crazy shit to get his girlfriend and get them back to where they can get on this chopper and go to Alaska. So it's very romantic, but I'm not going to lie, it's a very depressing film.
And then you reminded me of another great one that just happened this year, Cloverfield.
Well, when Cloverfield came out, that's what it made me think of.
Yeah, no, that's and you just reminded me of that. I mean, Cloverfield's essentially that same thing. New York's going crazy, and it's a giant monster movie, but really, it's a movie about a guy trying to get to that girl that he never told that he loved.
Oh yeah, in fact, I can guarantee you almost that Miracle Mile was a template for Cloverfield.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, somebody saw it and said, we're going to do this. This is great, but we're going to put a monster in there instead of a nuclear attack. So yeah. Speaking of romantic movies, though, I want to mention one thing about these screeners. There's a movie I want to recommend to people. There's a movie coming out from this director called Joel Hopkins, and his movie is Last Chance Harvey. Has Dustin Hoffman and
Emma Watson.
Emma Thompson. And
Emma Watson would have been creepy.
That's a young girl, right?
Yes, that's Hermione.
Yeah, Emma Thompson is the one that divorced
Kenneth
Branagh. Yeah, so I won't say anything about this movie just yet because it's early and I want to give an early review. But this guy directed one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is a romantic comedy, and that movie is Jump Tomorrow. And with this movie coming out, I don't want to say anything about this movie, but I hope that it makes people want to go and see this older film.
Let's give a brief review. Let's just, we don't have to go all into it, but what did you think about Last Chance Harvey?
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
What can I say? It's typical. That's all I can say. And
I thought it was all right. But
when I say typical, I mean okay. I didn't hate it.
No, it's not bad. It's cute. It was the frustrating thing was that they sent it to us for Oscar season, and it's not an Oscar movie.
It is not.
It's like, what were you guys thinking? I mean, I'm glad they sent it because it's a good movie. It's a cute film. And I finally watched Jump Tomorrow. I don't love it like you do, but you love Jump Tomorrow. Jump Tomorrow is one of those weird, hard to find films that Corey, you and Leon just love.
Yeah, I bought it from the first moment I knew it. And it's a romantic comedy, and really, it's not any different from any romantic comedy out there. It's not any different really from any indie romantic comedy, except that this guy somehow brought his a certain personality to it, and it is odd in some parts. Not odd enough to where you're thinking, "Oh, this is some guy going off of some like really artistic, strange angle here." No, not at all. It's very straightforward. It just has very weird characters in there, and I think that's what I liked about it. That it's a sweet little film with a few oddities in there, and manages to remain that romantic comedy that a lot of movies go for, but they just follow a strict line.
What was interesting is one of the things about these screeners is they really do it up. They've got that really cool
But packaging and
packaging.
Yeah.
And on that packaging, it tells you everything and every name that they would like you to consider the film for. Every single disc says for your consideration. When we refer to for your consideration, that's what we're talking about. Every single one of them says for your consideration.
Oh yeah.
And it was really funny because, like, there's an actor I really like, and his name's Richard Schiff.
Is he in?
And Richard Schiff is in Last Chance Harvey.
Oh, is he the one that fires Harvey?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's in the movie
I
for
love
like
that guy.
30. He played Toby Ziegler on The West
on
Wing
the West
for
Wing,
7
yeah.
seasons. He's also in a really cool New Zealand film called Heaven from 1998.
I never heard of it.
Dude, you'd love it. It's a crazy ass film. You'd love. If you have not seen Heaven, track that down. It's by a guy named Scott Reynolds. It was his second film. His first film was The Ugly, which is a really cool, freakish, psychological horror film, and then his third film was just crap, and he vanished off the face of the earth after that. He had another one, I think, The Tattooist, which is supposed to come out or might have come out in certain countries this year. But anyhow, so Richard Schiff is in this film for all of 30 seconds, and on the packaging it says, for Best Supporting Actor, James Brolin and Richard Schiff. And it's kind of like, dude, he's in the movie 30 seconds.
No, and he's on a phone, and that's it. I mean, no, he
it.
doesn't do that. Well, he's actually in a parking garage too, but he doesn't do anything in that movie.
They put everybody down there, but this was one of those films that accentuated that.
It's funny because I watched this movie while I was in Waco, and I'm watching it on DVD at home, and I'm saying, I'm a little bored in some parts, and some parts are very cute, some parts I like, and then some parts I can't stand because they do a costume montage, and I think that there should just people should just not do a costume montage anymore. We make fun of montages now. Let's stop that for a little bit. But I watched it on DVD and I said, you know what? I really don't feel cheated. I feel like I had a good time. That's the best way to watch it. I'm glad I didn't go to the theater to see it. So if I was watching a movie and giving a review, I'd say a rental just like I saw it. But it's not bad. Not bad at all.
We'll talk more about it here in the future.
But that guy, and it disappoints me because, like I said, that guy made one of my all-time favorite movies.
You guys love that movie.
I love that movie.
That's one that I don't get. I don't dislike it, but I saw it and I was like, eh. And you guys are just like, oh, Jump Tomorrow, it's so great.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those movies that appeals to certain people. Everybody has that movie that for some reason it's their movie.
It just clicks, and it clicks for you and Leon. And for me, I finally found it. I'm like, oh, I got to watch this. These guys have been telling me about it for years. I was like, oh.
Well, you probably got hyped up. I mean, because I never try to hype it up. I always tell people the movie appeals to me because it is a very small film. And for some reason, Leon and we're into these really small movies that nobody ever really finds.
And what's odd was that actor was just in another film, which surprisingly they haven't sent us, which really needs to be an Oscar consideration film, Rachel Getting Married.
Oh yeah,
the lead actor was in Rachel Getting Married.
The lead. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about of Jump Tomorrow?
Yeah.
That guy. He has an African name, and I love this movie so much that I went to go see his band, not even knowing what the band was about. TV on the radio. So I went to go see this band just so I could go backstage and tell him, I love your movie Jump Tomorrow. And he's like, you saw that? I was like, yeah, who fucking hasn't seen it, man? He's like, a lot of people.
Everybody else but you and my mom.
And Leon.
And every girl I've ever dated. I was in a movie. Really? Yeah, let me show you.
Really?
I'll show you, baby. It's cool.
Yeah, man. No, and now he's in Rachel Getting Married. But yeah, TV on the radio. And then I discovered, like, I really like this band. I'm looking at this band. I'm like, I'm glad I came here to see it. I love this guy now. So, yeah, one of those movies, man. But maybe I held too much over it on Last Chance Harvey. I was expecting another Jump Tomorrow, but that movie was just...
I just popped that in blind, and I liked it. I mean, I'm a big Emma Thompson fan, and of course I love...
She was good.
She's always good, dude. She's always... And we last saw these two actors together in a great film, Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, that's right. They both were in Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, and that's such a good film. If you haven't seen Stranger Than Fiction, it's Will Ferrell's greatest film. It's the film that's not a Will Ferrell movie. It's for people who hate Will Ferrell. So good. See Stranger Than Fiction.
I have to say that I'm going to be that person that says, yeah, that's Will Ferrell's best movie. Yeah. And I'm saying
even
that because
he says that. When you interviewed him and said, do you want to do other films? Like, yeah, no, I want to move on. I mean, Stranger Than Fiction was so well reviewed. And that was his taste of... Critics actually will like me. They don't just hate me. They just hate the movies I make. I'm going to go make Step Brothers now. Fuck you.
Hey, a lot of people, they might not agree with me on this. I know it's not one of the worst movies out there for a lot of people, but that is on my list of worst movies this year.
Step Brothers hasn't made it to my worst list yet.
I mean,
My worst list is already filled, dude. It's already. Something really bad has to come out to make it onto its.
See, I haven't really thought about it. I just see.
No, I've been thinking about it all year because it's been. I mean, as much as we've had such a great year, there have been some god awful pieces.
Well, I got 2 slots taken up already. For sure.
Oh, we both do. We
Those
both
are
have the
solid.
same slots.
And I'm glad you.
But
told
we're
me about
arguing
Meet the
over
Spartans.
what belongs where because you think disaster movie's worse than epic movie or worse than Meet the Spartans, and I think Meet the Spartans is clearly worse than disaster movie.
I won't split hairs with you on that. As long as they take those 2 spots up at the top, then I'm
and then
fine.
the third one though,
What is it?
Oh God, on my list, Over Her Dead Body.
That's in my top 10 too.
Yeah,
man.
and
I
then
can't.
then
I
we've
don't
got-
know where.
Then we've got shit like Witless Protection and The Love Guru.
No, Love Guru. I knew. Yeah, I didn't think of it.
yeah,
Witless
you forgot
Protection.
Witless Protection.
I actually went to see that too, and that was my
remember.
God. We had some bottom barrel shit coming out.
Oh
there.
no! I mean, and that's just. I mean, and there's then we've got stuff like Paris Hilton's movie,
The Naughty and the Hottie, the Hottie and the Naughty.
Hottie and the Naughty,
I didn't see that one.
Oh God, dude, it's not good.
I might try to watch it though.
Yeah, well, no, it's on DVD. You can find it. There's so much just bad, god awful shit this year.
The Love Guru. I think that's number 3. That's solid for me. Number 3.
That one's like 6 for me.
Really?
It's not quite there because Hottie and the Naughty's worse. And really, you think Love Guru's worse than Witless Protection, or do you just think you expect more out of him, Mike Myers, than you expect out of?
I think
of
that
Larry
with
the
Witless
Cable
Protection, yeah, I mean, there's lower expectations with that. I mean, that's somebody going in and saying, you know something, somebody wanted me to put this in theaters. I'd be fine to put this on DVD and entertain my crowd, my few crowds that love seeing my ass crack and
But at
playing
least,
Larry the
you know,
Cable
the
Guy.
thing is, I didn't laugh at Witless Protection once, but I actually laughed twice. Once unintentionally, arguably.
Okay,
but I
so-
laughed. I got one good
I know that
laugh
part
out
you
of
laughed
Love
at
Guru.
too unintentionally. So.
Yeah, it was like, you're so funny. And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. The tension was just too much.
See, with the Love Guru, there's a smugness that came with that. That came with Mike Myers thinking,
I am really the funniest man in the world.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can pretend to be Indian and it will be funny. It's
And,
like,
yeah.
no, it really isn't.
No,
that
it's
way.
not, and that is why I would give that my number 3
But we'll
spot.
find out because you know what? We're going to do a worse list here at the end of the year.
Of course.
We've
And-
got to.
and-
It'll eat up
yeah.
a whole hour.
And I haven't even thought enough to know what my worst of list. I just knew that those 2 spots. Well, actually one because I know Meet the Spartans came out this year.
Yeah, it did.
so-
January, dude.
But and Love Guru was in the back of my mind. But now that you brought it up, yeah, definitely number 3 right now. So anyway, when we get a lot of stuff,
We'll get onto that later. You know what? We've been talking a lot. So you know what? I'm going to say good night, everybody.
Yes, and I will say to you all, in memory of our Twilight talks that will officially end right now. Good evening.
Good evening.